Right, welcome to Project 6. We're going to be doing a sunroom today. We're revamping the floor because this floor is clearly in a bad condition. You can see it's an old carpet, it's got dirty, and it just doesn't look good. And so we're going to be doing an entire revamp of this room, but we're starting with the floor. So the products that we're going to be using is from TFC, and we're going to show you exactly what products we need. So what I've gone ahead and done now is I removed all the furniture here so that my area of space is clear. I've put up my Men at Work sign here so that people know don't come into this area while we're busy doing the renovation. And my next process is I'm going to show you exactly what products we'll need to do this application. Okay, so after doing the inspection of the room, these are the products that we'll need to do the application. So I've got this product here from TFC, that's your Coolcrete, and we've picked the color Moonstone here to do this particular application. We've got your Easy Clean here, also from TFC, that we're going to be using to clean the floor. But we're basically going to go over exactly what the product's used for and how we use it as we do the application. We've got your natural stone sealer here, which is a matte finish version from TFC. That'll be going over our Coolcrete. We have a dust mask, because when we lift those carpets, we can get a lot of dust, and we don't want that. We've got a series of different scrapers and trowels that we're going to be using to do the application from Hamilton there. We've got our sheepskin refills here, which basically goes into our sheepskin applicator over here. And we've got some 24-hour quick set towel adhesive. So those are the products that we need to do this particular floor. And our next process is going to be to lift the carpet. And so we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll show you how to do that. Right, so the first part is to remove the carpet. So that's our first step in this process, because we're obviously going to be doing the floor. So I'm going to go ahead now and remove the carpet from the floor. It's important to put on goggles just in case you get some specks in your eyes. You don't want that. And the other reason is it's important to also use a mask. So I'm going to put this mask on now and remove the carpet. Okay, so I've got my mask firmly in place and I'm removing the carpet. So I'm going to go ahead now and remove the carpet, and then once we've done that, we'll show you the next step. Okay, so our next step is we basically remove the carpet. You can see now the area is clear of the carpet. And so our next step is to remove anything that's on the floor. If we've got glue, we have to remove that glue. If we've got wooden bracing like I've got here that was holding down the carpet, we'd have to remove that so that the floor is basically clear of any residues on it. So the way we're going to remove the wooden bracing here is I'm going to be using this 50mm Hamilton scraper from Hamilton, and we're going to just knock it with a hammer, and it comes really easy. And you just sort of lift it up. And you'll see that that comes off quite easy. Make sure that you wear gloves, because these have got little nails in it and you don't want to hurt your fingers. And then we're going to show you the next step. Okay, so our next step is that we're going to now screed the floor. We need to screed the floor because we've got a whole bunch of indentation in the floor. You'll see here, over here, we've got some holes in that, and we have to make sure that this floor is nice and level, has no indentations in it. And the way we're going to be doing that today is with these products. We're going to be using this product from O'Grady's. So this is a roll-on skin, comes in different sizes. So basically, why we need to do this is we need a white floor to do our next product after this. And the other reason why is we need to even out the floor. And O'Grady's just marks all the boxes when it comes to doing that. So this is an acrylic-based plaster skin. It's used for inside and outside, so that's super. It's got a built-in primer, so that gives us bond to the floor, which is what we need to do. And it's easy to use. You can apply it with either a roller or a brush. So that's just super. It makes our life a lot easier. After rolling it with the roller, it's important, if you want to sort of just skim it with either a trowel, or we've got some spackles here from Hamilton that we're going to be using to just even it out after we roll it. So I find that better than a trowel, but you can use a trowel if you're quite good with a trowel. I'm trying to make it a very easy application, and therefore I'm just going to use a spackle scraper to do that particular part. So what's nice about this particular product is it's revolutionary in the market at the moment. You don't normally get a roll-on skim, and we're going to try it out today and see if it works. So our next process is to apply the product, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Right, so I'm using a classic roller here, just a normal straightforward medium holding roller here from Hamilton. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to dunk into a nice bucket that I've got. I've gone ahead and I've stirred it. So it's just nice when you've got a bigger bucket, because you can submerge the roller in, and that just helps you a lot more. Couple more things with the Grady is when you do the roll coat, it takes about 2 hours to dry on a 1mm thickness, and it fully hardens after 6 hours, and you can recoat after 8 hours. So we're going to go ahead now and dunk our roller, get it nicely submerged in. Like I say, I've gone ahead and I've stirred already, and then I'm just going to use my tray just to fully move the roller around. Alright, I just want to move some things around here so I can get in there. Right, and then I'm going to go for it. So you'll see it actually coats like a paint, which is really, really super, because normally with a skim coat, they're very thick, and that gives you endless drama into trying to get it nice and even. So you see, it's just so simple. Anybody can do it, and it coats really beautiful on the surface. For those hard areas to get to, we're just going to take a brush. So I get in front of the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And those little corners that you battle to get into, just use a brush. And what's lovely about it is it just pulls all those indentations. Really easy to use the product. It gives you this beautiful white coating. And then basically we're going to take that spackle from Hamilton, because I prefer that to a trowel. And we're just going to go over like that. And that'll just fill in the indentation. Don't worry if you cannot get it all full the first time, because you can recoat after 8 hours, which is a really cool drying time. And that's just filling all those little indentations, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to carry on now and do the whole floor. See my application done, nice and simple, and then we'll show you a before and after picture. Right, so we've spreaded the floor now, and what a beautiful finish this O'Grady's Roll-On Skim has presented us with. You'll see that the floor is lovely, lovely, lovely smooth. And I've got to admit, out of all the skims that I've used before, this Roll-On Skim has been the easiest application. The consistency of the product was great. And for that simple reason, I like to give Roland Skin from O'Grady's my Ginger Ninja seal of approval because it was a really great product. Okay, so we're going to do our next step now, and our next step involves TFC. So we're just going to go ahead now and clean the floor, just in case there was a little bit of dirt left over, a little bit of grime, maybe a stain or two that was left on the floor. And this product, Easy Clean from TFC, is going to help us do that particular problem. So it basically takes 1 cap to 5 liters of water. And then you're going to mop the floor, you're going to let it dry, and then we're going to move on to our next step. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's quite simple. Basically, these caps are those sort of like medicine caps that you normally get from the chemist. So you just got to push down, take your little cork, pour some Easy Clean in there, and put it in your bucket, and we're ready to go on the next step. So we're going to just mop the floor, just making sure that we get all that dirt off. If there was a little bit of dirt left on the skin, and I'm going to go ahead and mop the floor, which is a really simple application. I'm sure most of the ladies and guys know how to mop the floor, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to start our next step. Right, so now that we've used our Easy Clean product from TFC, we've mopped the floor and let it dry. We basically wanted to get rid of any stains that we did have on the surface and a bit of grime and dirt, and we've done that. It's nice and dry, the floor. And our next step is to use a product from TFC again, which is called Coolcrete, and we chosen the color called Moonstone. So this is a non-VOC product. And basically what that means is volatile organic chemicals, doesn't have it in it, and that just makes it super safe for us, and we want that because that's important. The other great purposes of this particular product is it's great for cementitious surfaces, being paving, cement slabs, floors like we're doing now at the moment, and that does a really great process of staining it. So what we're looking for is a nice mottled sort of effect on our floor, and we want to see if Coolcrete can do that. So the application is quite simple. Basically what you do need is no rollers or brushes, but we're using a sheepskin applicator here. So that's the application part of it being the stick and the thing, and then obviously the sheepskin refill, which then you attach to the applicator and apply it on your surface. So it's quite a simple process. We're going to go ahead and do that now, and we're going to see if we get the results that we need to get. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a bucket here ready, and I'm just going to dunk it in my bucket here, and I'm just going to let it drain a little bit. Super. It's a nice watery sort of product, so it's going to give us a lot of movement, and you kind of want that in the floor. And we're just going to brush that on the floor. And look at that beautiful sort of like two-tone as it hits the white floor. I've chosen a white floor to do here because you basically get the results very quick, and it gives you that nice sort of moon rock sort of effect going here. And it takes about 48 hours to get to its full cure. So as it hits the cement, sort of almost like wine, ferments against the concrete floor and creates that staining sort of look that we're aiming for. So I'm going to go ahead now and do the whole floor, and then I'll be back with you for the next step. Right, so now that we've allowed 48 hours for the floor to cure, you'll see we've got a nice mottled effect on the floor. It's a little bit dark, but we will show you the before and after picture as soon as the sunlight comes out. But we want to do the seal now so that we have time for that to dry and we can show you the finish off process. So we're using this product from TFC here. It's a natural stone sealer. We've opted for the matte route because we don't want to take away the emphasis of the floor. And it's a beautiful product to use on tiles and floors, and it has a whole variety of applications. You clean your brushes with thinners, And it's basically a simple process of prep, seal, and allow to dry. And we're going to be using our sheepskin applicator to do the application, and I'm going to go right ahead now and show you how to do that. So we've got our sheepskin applicator over here, and we're just basically going to be dunking that in our bucket. Just let it drain a little bit off. And we apply it to the floor. And away we go. And as you'll see, as the sealer hits the floor, it just enhances that mottle effect that we've been trying to achieve on the floor. And just gives a nice, even finish with the sheepskin applicator. So simple to go back and forth with, and just basically enhancing the floor that we've prepped so nicely. And I'm going to go ahead right now and do the whole floor, and then we'll come back and show you a before and after picture.